Do you guys remember the last time that the Serie A was actually compelling and fun to watch? It's been years. It's really been years since the Serie A title race was genuinely interesting. This season, though, we are very lucky to be witnessing one of the closest Serie A title races we have ever seen. It is so much fun to watch. I never thought I would be sitting down and actually be excited to watch a Serie A game. So, in addition to the Bundesliga, you have the Serie A. So, you really have no idea what game to watch in the weekend. And that's a good problem. I'd say that that's a very, very good problem. Inter, Inter was leading throughout majority of of the league. They were at the top of the table, and then suddenly Juventus just starts to take over. Inter drops a couple points here and there. Juventus doesn't. They get the results, and all of a sudden, Juventus is in first place. Of course, similar to Germany, Bayern all of a sudden first place. Juventus all of a sudden first place. But this weekend, Juventus dropped points. They dropped points to Hellas Verona, who isn't a very good team, but they dropped points. They lost 2-1. And that automatically made Inter versus AC Milan that much more interesting. Ooh, excuse me, one of the more important derbies in all of Europe. But if you need something to intrigue you just a little bit more to watch the Serie A, take a look at this. Lazio, they're in third place. They beat Parma 1-0. And now they're in third with 53 points. That was on Saturday. So now not only do you have Inter and Juve in the title race, you have Lazio in there as well. My goodness, when was the last time you saw this in Italy? It's just incredible. And then, of course, that Juve and Lazio, that all happened on Saturday. And now Sunday comes around, and we have Inter against AC Milan. Of course, like I said, one of the more interesting games in all of Europe. And Inter had, should they win, they go to the top of the Serie A again by goal differential. And they started losing 2-0 to AC Milan. They went into halftime losing 2-0 to AC Milan, a team that has been rebuilding for like the last 6 years. Poor AC Milan, man. I remember when they were a European giant and Ronaldinho was playing there and Kaká was playing there. David Beckham played there. Of course, you have guys like Maldini and Nesta and just a very, very good team. And now they're getting scraps. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored a goal. He scored a goal against Inter, his old team. And at halftime, it looked like maybe Juventus was going to go into this week first place of the Serie A. But don't worry, Inter Milan fans. Something shifted, something changed. And as soon as the second half started, the shift was completely evident. Inter Milan just turned it up to a level in which they probably hadn't turned up to this entire season. They played out of their minds. 10 minutes in, they were tied 2-2. Of course, the second goal was a little bit controversial. Maybe Alexis Sanchez was offside, but it doesn't matter. They were tied 2-2. VAR said, no, he's not offside. It's a goal. Of course, you look at it from a different angle. We'll talk about VAR some other time. We can make like 7 different segments for all of this, for VAR. But Inter showed urgency. They showed that they wanted to win. They showed a champion's mentality. And they tied 2-2. And then Stefan de Vrij scored an excellent header off of a set piece. 3-2. And then to top everything off, arguably Inter Milan's best player throughout the entire season, Romelu Lukaku, turns up and he scores the goal that sealed the win in the first place spot for Inter Milan, at least for this week. He scores the fourth goal, takes off his jersey, celebrates like crazy. I was so happy for him because, of course, all the criticism he received when he was still with Manchester United, a little bit unfair maybe, sure, but he really wasn't performing. And now he goes to another team, to another league, and he plays very well. And it's evident. It's It's evident what's going on with Manchester United. I don't want to talk too much about that, but it's very evident. It's real. These players leave Manchester United and they play so well. They play incredibly well. And now Inter Milan is in first place of the Serie A. And that was so much fun to watch. That game was so much fun to watch. All heart, skill, of course, but all heart, all courage from the players, from the fans, and you just have to absolutely love Il Derby della Madonnina. Incredible. Incredible game. So much fun. Now you have a very hot title race in the Serie A. Let's take a look at the table. Inter has 54 points, tied with Juventus 54. And then Lazio has 53 points in third place. So Lazio can very likely win this title. We talked about Bayer Leverkusen last segment, how they can maybe win the Bundesliga. But that one looks a little bit less likely. This one, though, my goodness. Lazio is very close to winning, and there's actually a way for them to end in first place next weekend. Because next Sunday, Lazio and Inter face off at the Stadio Olimpico. If Lazio wins, if they beat Inter, and Juve loses, which, to be fair, isn't very likely because they face Brescia, then Lazio is in first place. Lazio would be in first place should all of that happen. And even if they beat Inter and Juventus wins, they're still going to be, they're going to be in second place. And it's going to be that much closer. There are 3 different outcomes. 3 very possible outcomes that we can see at the end of this season. It is incredible how competitive the Serie A has been all season. And I am here to see it. So much fun. Oh my God, that game was so much fun. If you guys have some time, go back and watch Inter against AC Milan because that game was so much fun. It was so cool, so passionate. And even more, if you know what this game meant to Inter Milan, it just makes it that much more interesting. Like this league. When was the last time you were intrigued by the Serie A? When was the last time we saw 3 different scenarios very likely to play out at the end of the season? Guys, we are being blessed with these title races. By this time, a few years ago, we would have been like, all right, well, Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga and, well, Juventus won the Serie A. Not this time. We have very interesting title races, and we have a lot to watch for these next couple of weekends.